Great, how are you?
Good.
Good. What's new?
Is there a
Same old?
Same old, same old.
I don't know. That might be another conversation that happens down the road.
Yeah. And I think we'll have it. But, you know, it's like the good news is
Oh my goodness. Been in Portland today.
What's going on?
Not a whole bunch.
Busy day?
Busy day. Up to Portland and back.
Up to where? Portland?
Portland?
Up
Today
back
you
in
went
the
to
same
Portland?
day?
Yeah.
You went to Portland today. Oh, Wayne.
Mesa tomorrow.
So did you just like land and come straight here? Are you stressed? Oh, you can handle a lot.
Good. Just a flight.
Of sorts while you
No,
were
it
there.
was just a lunch meeting.
That is one expensive lunch meeting. You got my email?
Yes. Go ahead. I think so. No, I haven't. I'm just thinking through. Yes. I do.
What,
Do you have any comment? No. Do you want one?
are you talking the roadshow video?
Yeah. Are you on there?
I was.
She's got it. No,
Great.
she's got it.
Yeah.
I watched it all today. And I shared it on my council page. So good.
Yeah. Excellent.
So good.
Excellent stuff that I didn't even know about.
Probably for you. So probably.
All refilled. Tara takes care of us.
Show any of it?
It's currently on our city
Maybe I'll
Facebook
show the
page too.
end where you can text us. That's the last bit. It says text us.
Okay, that'll be the last.
So
of
we've
my
had a
count.
few people text today.
Asking questions or giving more suggestions?
Both.
So can they find it on our
Respond in the
website or just Facebook?
Well, our website has the basic. I'll go to the website. I'm also working on tomorrow. I'll have a recap. So if you don't have 33 minutes to watch it, you can read it. Smart notes version. So that's something I'm working on tomorrow. So go to the website.
Go to the website.
See it there
Okay.
or at YouTube.
Cold in here. It does not feel good.
We'll have a public hearing.
Okay. Shane.
So, perfect. Chris is the was out.
Got my van back today.
Everybody got a pen?
You need one?
Tara, do you have an extra pen over there?
Taking care of Shane.
Left my thing. What are you doing in Portland?
Just work. They usually are they pretty long or no?
It's kind of weird.
Are they quick meetings or?
This is lunch.
It's so weird.
I landed it
Any questions about my pictures, Nick?
and got to their office about 10. It's supposed to be 11 to 1. And I just hung out. It's actually very cool.
Which one? Yeah.
Just, I had some things I need to do. Really? Okay. All right, thanks. Just weird. It's a long way to go from one.
Yeah. So there's one that I walked by the kennel, and it just stuck its head like right up against the fence. It was just waiting for me to scratch its head. So thank you.
That's okay. Excuse me, Jen.
Just gonna leave that there.
Thank you.
Can't believe you swore. I feel so much better.
I feel like we don't have any directors in here.
We're good.
Maybe because we don't.
Good for what?
Go ahead, Mayor.
Are we rolling?
I think
Okay,
so, yeah.
we're going. All right, perfect. Thank you. Welcome, everyone, to City Council meeting, March 7th, 2023. Thank you for joining us here at City Hall and online and on television and around the world. We are going to get things underway like we always do with first of all, a prayer and motivational message by Councilman Argyle. And then who's got the pledge?
I do.
And then Councilman Cardin has the pledge. Perfect. Councilman Argyle.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to make a comment today. If you saw in the news, President Biden awarded a person from the Vietnam War Medal of Honor. He saved 3 people during that war, and it took over 50 years for him to receive that medal, and he waited. And when they asked him after, he said, "I didn't think I'd ever see it." Most of those awards are done postpartum, so or post that they passed away. It was pretty neat to see this and see this man receive this honor that many years ago. It's good that we still recognize some of the heroes that we have in our life, and he was one of them. And one of the persons that he had saved was still alive and had commented. He had one that had submitted this several times, and it had been lost, of course, in the paperwork in the back east, but it was pretty awesome to see, and he was pretty honored to receive that award. So just wanted to recognize Paris Davis as a recent recipient of the Medal of Honor, and then offer a word of prayer. Our dear Father in heaven, we humbly come before thee with this council meeting as we discuss the needs and the information about our city. We are grateful for the opportunity that we have to serve in this great city of Spanish Fork. We ask His blessing upon those first responders, that as they serve on a 7-day-a-week basis, that they will always be watched over and protected. We are grateful for their service. We're grateful for all those that serve this community and the volunteers and the employees that make this community work as it is and make it such a great place to live and raise our families. And we are indeed grateful to be a part of that. We ask Thy Spirit here as we discuss the needs of this community, that we may do so in a pleasing manner. And we ask these things in the name of Thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Audience, please arise and say the pledge with me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, perfect. That takes us to a cool part of our meeting tonight. We have a couple recognitions that we're going to make. And the first one, we have with us some representatives of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints that help us out and help our city out, but help local charities out as well. So if you'd please come up, and Tara will get your names and everyone who we are in the minutes, but we would like to hear what you have to say for yourself.
Thank you. I'm Stephanie Ashcraft. I'm on the Utah County Communication Council for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I'm also blessed to be a welfare and self-reliance manager for the church. And it's our privilege. We help with the giving machines that were held in Orem. And we had several nonprofits that were selected to be in the machines. And because of all the good that they do, we had to get Tabitha's Way back in those machines because they help so many families. If you're ready, we're going to just show you a really short video clip. So this is this year. These were the charities that were in the machines, and this is just a quick highlight. It's our privilege. We help with the giving machines that we're helping.
My name is Mike Carter, and I'm one of the co-founders of Tabitha's Way Local Food Pantry. Tabitha's Way has a food pantry in Spanish Fork, Utah, and in American Fork, Utah. We provide food assistance to thousands of people each month through both of our locations. We serve about 8,000 people a month, and each of these people come to our pantry and they shop and select the food that they need for 2 weeks. All of our clients, on average, come to the pantry for about 6 weeks, and that's typically what they need to be able to get back on their feet.
Hey, I'm Ann Fries, and I'm a volunteer for Sleep in Heavenly Peace. It's a nonprofit organization that actually started in Idaho back in 2012, just in Young Men's Leader's garage, when he and a group of young men decided to make some beds for some families that needed them. The gentleman, his name is Luke Mickelson, quit his job and started doing this full time. Since that time, there have been 326 chapters started in America, coast to coast. We now have some chapters in Canada and even one in Bermuda. And it's a great, great nonprofit. If you have a child or know of a child that is sleeping in an uncomfortable position, you just get on the website, click on a button that says apply for a bed. And so it's really great. It doesn't cost the families anything. They get a mattress, a bed, sheet set, pillows, and bedspread, all for nothing. And we're all operated by all volunteers.
And I'm here with Community Action Services and Food Bank, and our mission is to fight hunger, end poverty, and to foster self-reliance in our communities. We serve Wasatch, Summit, and Utah counties, and we have a food bank and food pantry system, as well as a community gardens and a commercial kitchens that those that are in need of that leg up in achieving self-reliance are able to use. And we also provide homebuyer education and financial literacy classes.
Hi, I'm Ann with Lifting Hands International, and we provide aid to refugees around the world and here in Utah. And we don't care about politics, just humanitarian. We have huge shipments that we send out to refugee camps around the world, to countries like Jordan, Bangladesh, Greece, Turkey, Syria, Afghanistan, Ukraine. And then we also help with a resettlement project when refugees land here, and we set up their apartments and everything that they might need, from forks to bedding to everything that they're going to need to start their new life here. So we're really grateful that we could be part of this Light the World Giving Machine program. And we're hoping that everyone can come down and check out these machines and donate.
So the Food and Care Coalition is the local homeless resource center here in Provo. We have about 7,000 unique volunteers every year that serve. And our agency provides everything from 3 hot meals a day to showers and laundry services to mental health, medical, dental, and housing and case management. And so we love the community. We love obviously being a part of the Light the World campaign and extending that volunteer opportunity to others in the community that might not be able to come down and serve.
I'm gonna get teary-eyed talking about this. These organizations in our communities are doing such amazing work at caring for those in need. And how exciting it was to see droves of people come to the giving machines this year and purchase items that could be distributed through these charities. We're going to have Mark Seastrand come up. He's the director of our Communication Council. And Pam Bouchard's also on the Communication Council. Do we want to go on ahead and call Wendy up as well?
I'll read a little bit and then we'll get you. You don't have to stand up.
All right.
Mayor, members of the City Council, it's great to be here tonight. As was said, this is one of those great fun things where you see how much good the community can do to help one another. The giving machine started as somebody's idea in 2015, and we now have it in 28 different cities around the world, 6 different countries. And between the latter part of November and the first part of January, around the world, we had over 425,000 participants that took part in the giving machines worldwide. It's sponsored by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They cover all the cost of the credit card transactions, the cost of the machines, the cost of the program, so that 100% of the money that is donated by the participants goes directly to the charities involved. And it's our privilege to help to identify charities in the local community and internationally that do such a phenomenal service, that to include them in the giving machines. And Tabitha's Way is one of those that we're recognizing tonight and showing some appreciation. I want to just give you a few statistics that are kind of fun. So the giving machines in Utah County were located in Orem at the University Mall, and we certainly appreciate their willingness to sponsor and to provide the power and electricity to be able to have it there. We had over 75,000 participants in this location for that 6-week period of time. And just in the Orem location, we did over $1.1 million in donations, which will feed 308,000 meals, 2,500 food boxes, 303 years of supply of food for hungry and displaced people. More than 5,500 children will receive school supplies and books. Nearly 3,400 children and refugees will receive shoes, socks, and winter clothing. More than 5,700 people will receive benefits of hygiene supplies. And then this is kind of the fun one, more than 1,414 families will receive a goat. So the thing I love about goats is they make other goats. So that number magnifies. But
Gift that keeps giving.
So that'll be fun. So with that donation, as part of the ongoing humanitarian efforts, we really like to pick the local charities. And Tabitha's Way is one that, as you know, is located here in Spanish Fork. So we wanted to thank them. We wanted to thank the Spanish Fork City for your support of the giving machines and for your residents for their involvement with not only Tabitha's Way, but with the programs going on. With Tabitha's Ways, with this item. So these are the items that they volunteered to put together, and the funding that came from the donations will go specifically for these. But because of that, there will be 2,337 backpacks for young children and 774 personal care packages for a total of almost $39,000 to Tabitha's Way. And we'd love to have them come up. And Mayor, if you wouldn't mind getting a picture with us.
You bet.
And
Yeah.
with, so Wendy and Jody Osborne are the directors. Come on up.
We're going to take a picture, or are you going to say something first?
I just wanted to say, I wanted to express my appreciation to the church and to Mark and his team. They've been so wonderful to work with. Really, it was an honor that we were chosen for a second year in a row to participate in these machines. And as Mark stated, the impact is just vast. Many of you have participated in our backpack events, and that's where funds came from. Last year was from Light the World, giving machines for children in our community. as well as Christmas dinners and Thanksgiving dinners as well. And this year we were honored. Those funds, we had a last-minute call from a local organization that helps military families, and they had 250 families, military families, that didn't have Thanksgiving meals. But because of the Light the World funds, we were able to provide to them, which was just a miracle, because we ordered turkeys in advance, and we're like, there's no way we're getting these turkeys. And we got turkeys this year for them, and those funds went to serve those families. And so thank you to all of you. Thank you to Mark and to everyone who's participated in those giving machines, because it's had the impact, like you said, is just beyond what we can even state. It's just, there's just so many, I mean, there's the backpacks, but there's the children that receive them, that get those backpacks and the books, and it's impacting the lives of so many people in our community. And we're just honored that we get to participate in it, and the work that you guys do to put all this together. I was honored to visit with many of those nonprofit agencies, and actually volunteer at the Giving Machines this year, and it was so fun watching the little kids show up and say, well, I'm going to buy socks, and I'm going to buy pillows, and I'm going to buy a goat, and I'm going to buy a backpack, and it was just really fun to witness that, and to see the charity and the kindness of people in our community. And nonprofits exist because of the communities we live in and the support that we get from all of you. And so very honored, very blessed, and just thank you so much. We love you guys, so thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. Hey, Mark, in a different hat, how important are organizations like this in, understand you've sat on this side before in city government, and local, government itself maybe has a connotation that we all just kind of shake our head at sometimes, but local government, what organizations like this mean to a community?
I really think it's interesting that the great thing about this program is so many of us really do want to give and want to help, but we're not sure how we can give and help in the best way. And yet you have communities or organizations like Tabitha's Way that all they do day in and day out is help people. So to be able to have an easy way to give something in a way that you know is going to help makes all the difference in the world. And as long as you've got collaboration and support with the government, it's a great win-win for everyone to make it, go. Frequently, if government does it, we mess it up. But we like to stay out of the way.
Well, we appreciate your service in Orem. We don't think you messed too many things up in Orem. You did a good job.
I greatly appreciate what you do, and it is great to have organizations like Tabitha's Way here. So, thank you,
I
Mark.
have one more comment. The area presidency feels so strongly about the good that this organization's doing that they just funded 2 $100,000 humanitarian grants to the Bishop Storehouse for Tabitha's Way. So the location on the north end of the county and the location of the south end of the county were each given a $100,000 grant so that they can get the food when there's gaps that they need. So it's big. We love what they're doing. We recognize the good that they do, and we want to support that as much as we can. So can we get a picture really quick?
Yes, but we're going to give a round of applause first.
We're good with him representing us.
Yeah, Stephanie's got to be in it.
We're only going to take about 10. Good, it might trap in the heat. Thanks, Nick.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So cool.
Congratulations, Wendy and Tony. That's big.
Yeah, like Stephanie mentioned, start us off with a emotional start to our council meeting. Thank you so much, both organizations. We appreciate all you do for Spanish Fork and for those that need help in our area. Okay, it takes us on to another recognition. First of all, you'll notice Wendy left these with me, so I'm going to give these to all of us. We need 2. We need 3. I got one. So Hamilton Challenge on there. You've heard of this. They're doing this again at Tabitha's Way. So a Hamilton is Hamilton's on the $10 bill. So basically, the little cute saying that's there is a Hamilton can help a ton. And so you'll be able to see fundraising issues that they're sharing on social media and their websites, their different channels at Tabitha's Way, that if you feel inclined to donate, a $10 bill really does help further the efforts of that organization. And I can't remember the number offhand, but it feeds a lot of meals to a lot of people for just $10 with their buying power of food that they get. She'll clear that up on aisle 9 for me of what that is. But I'm telling you, just $10 to Tabitha's Way will truly make some miracles. So
I can add to that, and they're really looking for $10 per month. So if you just go to their website, you just put your account number in, and $10. If you can do more, great. And guess who coined the Hamilton Challenge name? Didn't you come up with it a couple years ago, and then it took a couple years to get it moving? But Mayor, good job.
This should be a marketer. I hit my head and I came up with an idea, like the flux capacitor on Back to the Future. No, very good organization, the church and Tabitha's Way. Great to have them in council meeting tonight. Okay, now, what's that?
600 meals.
Is it 600? So $10, 600 meals. Donate $10 to the local food pantry. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Next up for recognitions, Chris Thompson is going to bring a great group of people in here that we owe some thanks to. It's not snowing now, Chris. I don't know what you're having them do now, but
it's the one time this month.
It's the one day this month. The last month that it's not snowing, but. Are they all coming in? Are they
They're
shy?
coming.
Is this a group of shy?
They're coming. They ride in the truck by themselves.
Oh, okay, yeah, they do ride in the truck by themselves, you're right. All right.
Come on up.
There's a room.
There always is.
Let's go.
I have to be up here, you have to be up here. No, we're not there, up here.
No, you won't let you sit down.
Okay, I wanted to
Keep coming.
draw everyone's attention to this graph. This graph is the snowpack up in the mountains that feed, in the watershed that feeds Spanish Fork River. And right now, we're just shy of 22. Well, actually, we've passed this. This is a little bit old. We're kind of up in the 23 range of snowpack, and this is inches of water. So if you took the snow that is up in the mountains right now, and you melted it, there would be almost 2 feet of water all over the ground. That's a lot of water, a lot of snow. And so with that snow, that's great. We really need it for for filling up our reservoirs and for our water supply. So we're really excited about that. So the water division in Public Works is really happy right now. And I'm sure the streets and stormwater division is happy for them, but there's some impacts that happen when you get this much snow in a year. Maybe go to that next slide, Nick. And that is, we have to fight the snow. And these are our snow fighters behind me. They are the ones that are in the plows and are fighting these storms, trying to make the roads safe for when our kids go to school and when we go to work. And a lot of times, it's on a holiday. A lot of times it's the middle of the night. And I got some statistics this year about what we've done so far this year. We have used over 3,000 tons of salt. That's how much salt we put on the roads. About 10 tons of salt can fit in one of these snow plows. And in order to empty it all out, okay, here's the statistics. In order to plow every road in town in each direction of the road, we have to plow 324 miles of street. So some storms we have to plow more than once. So upwards of about 500 miles every time it snows. These guys have to go, and these big snow plows, and go over 500 miles. We had one storm event this year where we had to plow 1,200 miles to keep up. It takes 8 hours after the snow stops to go and hit all the roads. And so, not counting all the time that it's snowing, as soon as the snow stops, these guys have to go for another 8 hours. Another thing is we have so we have 14 full-time snowplow drivers that have to do all of this work, and they really care about the city. My time with them has made me realize that on their watch, they don't want any accidents. They don't want any kids in danger going to school. They get up as early in the morning as they need to so that they can do what they can to make it safe for us and our community. They really care about the community in ways that you can't imagine. And they're doing all this at the same time that they're looking ahead several months to the flooding season. This is the same crew that defends the city from flooding. And so they're in the river. When the roads are clear, they immediately, in the cold weather, and it's easier when it's cold, right? Because the river's not as high. It gets warm. When it's warm enough to actually get in the river, then the river's too high. So when it's cold, they're the ones going into the river with chainsaws, cutting out the debris that's going to clog up the river and it's going to cause flooding. And they're doing all this right now and working long hours and really working hard for us. And we just really appreciate them, think the world of them. They've all told me that Jade is going to speak for them. Is that right, Jay? Jay? Or Jamie, maybe Jamie. You want to say a few words? And then the mayor has a little gift for you.
Mayor, council, thanks for having us here. I've told you guys before, and I'll tell you again, I got the best crew there is. Very dedicated, very hardworking, very selfless with their time. Several times they've left Christmas to go plow. They've left New Year's to go plow. Their families deserve to be thanked too, because they leave them a lot. With that being said, I'm just an air traffic controller. These guys are flying the planes and doing the work. I would go to bat with any of these guys, and we do appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you.
There is not a better sight than to walk out of your house and see that row of snow in your driveway. That is the best sight ever. It means I'm gonna get on the road and it's gonna be clear. So I appreciate you pushing snow into my driveway. Honestly, I really appreciate that. Was any of you fixing the pothole up on Center and 6 this last weekend? So I took a picture of that and I texted it over to UDOT. I'm like, stepping up again, Spanish Fork. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it.
Well, I think adding to what you're saying, Shane, is they do it with a smile too. Because I was out snow blowing my house the other day, and I don't know which one of you drove by my house, but comes by and he's smiling and waving, and then they come back by to the other side and they're still smiling and waving. they're not doing it begrudgingly. They love the city. They're trying to make it safe. And, you know, I appreciate that. So thank you.
I'd like to add, I'm already getting questions like, so what's Spanish Fork City doing about the potential of flooding? And I'm like, our crews are already out there in the river, and they're so darn happy to hear that we are being proactive on what our spring's going to look like. I mean, I'd rather wait till the river when it's warm. At least you could wear a swimsuit then, guys, but get out there and get it done. Thank you.
Okay, maybe what we'll do is we'll have you just go and shake hands with it. And the mayor has a little gift for you.
We can't say that, Jamie said it just as well as anybody, that, hey, it is you guys and your families that have sacrificed. This has been an insane year, 200% of normal. That's a lot of plowing and a lot of good work. Probably with still some more to come. We're not through it yet, but obviously that flood mitigation work too. We really do appreciate all the good work you do, and your families, that you're missing Christmases, you're missing some birthdays, some important times because the weather doesn't know it's a holiday and know to calm down. So thank you. And the little gift we have for you is hopefully helps make it up, and you can take that family out to dinner because you've missed a few dinners. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate you.
My wife's going to be excited when this goes. Thanks. Good. How are you? Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. You guys have a
See you in a couple weeks. Thank you.
Traffic controller. Guys.
Yes, they are.
Thank you.
Jamie, appreciate you. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think so.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Back around.
Thanks.
Sir?
You too. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Jamie, there are a couple that maybe didn't make it.
I got it. Let's get a picture, Mayor.
All right.
Extra?
It's
You want me to
extra.
get behind you here?
Do you even know what the inside of a truck looks like?
I'm gonna have to stand on a chair, Nick.
Let's see. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks. Thanks. Very good. Thanks, Chris. Thank you to that department and those hardworking gentlemen that do. Shane mentioned it well. We appreciate when they plow snow into our driveway. It means the road's clear. It's time to get safely on our way. So appreciate you guys so much. Okay, one other recognition that we're excited to have tonight. We've got a couple of guests, one leaving the field and one entering the field, I guess, in some sort of word, but would like to welcome some special guests, Andrew Jackson, Michelle Carroll, to council meeting tonight. Come up here, you two. We've got to embarrass you a little bit. These are a couple of people that maybe always aren't in the public eye, if you will, and maybe that's some way by design that of their own making somewhat, but. We appreciate both of you so much. We want to recognize you Andrew, for the services for years that you've given the Mountain Land Association of Governments, and Michelle, the years you've given, but the role you're about to step into. So maybe tell us a little bit about who you are and what you've done, Andrew.
Yeah, my name is Andrew Jackson, and I was the executive director of Mountain Land Association of Governments. I worked there for 26 years, and prior to that, the additional 4 years for Linden City as their planning and economic development director. And when I was coming over here, I was trying to, well, I'll say there's three things that I think about often. And one is that it's rare to be able to work in a job that you went to school for. And the second, it's trying to think what the second one is. That you get to spend your career, most of your career, in one location. And then thirdly, it's being able to come to work and just enjoying all the people that you work with, and the elected officials and staff members at MAG and with the different cities have just been so wonderful to work with. I decided to be kind of like Bill Murray in Space Jam and go out at my peak. And when I was coming over, I was thinking about kind of the highs and lows of the work that I was able to do with Spanish Fork. And one of the highs for me was back when Wayne Anderson was the mayor, and we were having lunch over at a Chinese restaurant just over here on Main Street. And you gotta think, me having lunch at Chinese restaurant is kind of an obvious thing that happens quite a bit, but we were there talking about things, and that's when UDOT called and said with the I-15 core reconstruction that we thought we would only get to Provo, but UDOT actually called them while we were there eating and said that they were actually going to make it all the way down to Spanish Fork and beyond. And so that's the high, and I can't really think of any lows. But one of the things I was having lunch with Council Member Marshall the other day. It was at a Mexican restaurant, not a Chinese. You kind of see this pattern going here, right? I weighed 150 pounds and had a full head of hair when I started working on it. But Councilmember Marshall gave me some great advice, and that was to take some time to enjoy retirement before jumping back in. I also can't think of anyone in the world that I would rather have leading the charge at MAG than Michelle. She's worked for us for 15 years. She came in, we had a couple programs that were just really struggling, and she came in and whipped everything into shape and got it performing, and the envy of the state and the nation in a lot of the programs that she's done as well. And when we interviewed for her position 15 years ago, we had a few people, and one of my favorite questions to ask people in interviews is, if you're an animal, what kind of animal would you be and why? And so we had one person that came in and they said a wolverine, because everybody's afraid of a wolverine. Another person came in and said that they would be a grizzly bear because they could sleep as long as they wanted, they could eat anything they wanted, and everybody just kind of gets out of the way. And then Michelle said she was a dolphin, and that's what I would be as well. I'd like to have fun, all that kind of stuff, but if the sharks come around, boom, it's all business. So I just appreciate her. I appreciate all of you and all of the work that you do, and again, also your families that do that as well. And so I'm very happy to have Michelle coming in as the executive, or actually is the executive director. So thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you.
When I came, I was also reminiscing when I first started at MAG. I came down to Spanish Fork. I ran the Community Development Block Grant Program, so worked with a lot of your public works and engineers, doing a lot of water, sewer. Verna Joe over at your senior center, doing a lot of improvements. I worked a lot with Dave, economic development, and so just fantastic things happening in Spanish Fork over the years, and have always been so impressed with the top quality of your staff. And the elected officials. I know some of you and have had the pleasure of working with you, and certainly look forward to continuing to serve you, offering up all of MAG's resources. I'm sure you've heard you've recently been granted the MAG TAG Award, $150,000 for the general plan, and so we're really excited about that. It's going to be a fantastic plan. And then 11 years ago, I loved Spanish Fork so much, I bought a house here, and I'm a resident, so I'm a little bit biased, and I also serve on the Planning Commission, and while I'm very competent at my role at MAG, I'm still learning on the Planning Commission, so, but it's been a great experience, and I love serving, and just please reach out anytime anytime. We're here to serve you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle. Hey, Chris, Dave, anything that you'd like to say about these two people at MAG? Your departments both work with them quite extensively.
Yeah, we have a great relationship with MAG and have relied on them over the years for a lot of advice on planning and just connecting cities. And a lot of the projects that you see being built in Spanish Fork, and we'll see like this year and in coming years, are mostly funded by the MAG organization, the Mountain Lands Association of Governments. And so really appreciate the work that they've done. And we'll miss Andrew, and looking forward to working with Michelle and having a local that we can connect with. So.
Chris summed things up well. I'll just add that couldn't be happier about the future of MAG, the relationship that we have with that organization and their staff. And I really mean that. I think the future's bright and couldn't come at a better time. I think this community's needs and the valley's needs are only going to continue to grow, and continuing to work with their staff to help all of us collectively as communities deal with the challenges, and as MAG's role expands to even start to play more of a land use kind of a management role than what historically associations of governments have. Again, couldn't be happier with their staff and the opportunities we're going to have to work with them going forward.
Perfect. Thank you,
Can I add
Dave.
2 things?
Yes.
Congratulations on becoming the first woman executive director. You're the 4th, right? First woman, so congratulations. And the cool thing I heard about you from our current commissioners that you sit with here and your coworkers is that you're very quiet. But then when she speaks, everyone stops and listens, because when she talks, everybody wants to hear what she has to say. So congratulations, Michelle.
Shane, you've been with the Mountain Land Association of Governments in a few different roles for many years.
Yep.
What, maybe educate the public just a little bit even on what MAG is and who's in the room and how important a role these guys play.
So I have had the opportunity to work with Andrew for most of those 27 years. Most of my time at UDOT was spent in Region 3 here in Orem working with MAG. They do all the transportation planning for the MPO boundary, which is most of the Utah County. They are responsible to make sure that we get to and from where we need to get to on the major roads within the county. They listen to the needs of the local officials and the local communities really, really well. Their plan is built around our plan. And they have it's a difficult job to try to wrangle. I don't know how many municipalities are in the county, 20, 25? To try to get 22, 23 people to say yes to something is a challenge that they face every single day. But they've done it really, really well. Andrew he's not going to take any credit for most of the things he's done, I promise you, but he has done some major, major things. The core project, which is $1.5 billion worth of reconstruction on I-15, went all the way to Spanish Fork, a lot of because of what Andrew has done. Certainly Mayor Anderson had a role in that as well. But Andrew, with his vision, was able to bring it all the way down, leveraging the local funds that he was able to get the local communities to contribute to. I-15 was amazing. So we worked together for a long time, and this county is better off for having Andrew in it, and I'm excited for Michelle as well. It's going to be a continuation of a great organization. So welcome. We're excited to have you at the helm, and Andrew, thank you for your service. It's been a pleasure working with you for the last 25 years, and we'll probably get to work together in the future. So thank you.
Just to echo what Stacy said about the Planning Commission, I got to the privilege to serve with Michelle for about a year on the Planning Commission. And when she speaks, everyone listens, even the developers, which is, that sometimes is a feat. But I'm excited to see, in this new role, but congratulations.
So at those meetings, just to piggyback on what Shane said to the public, imagine you've got a Lehigh mayor in a room, you've got county commissioners, you've got all mayors of all cities, including like the city of Santaquin in the same room. the needs of Lehigh and their transportation is a little bit different, maybe just a little bit different than the needs of Santaquin City. But what a great organization to bring all those people in the room and listen to local needs and then plan regionally and act locally. I'm a big believer in that, and I know you guys are as well. So I just echo what's been said here. The county owes you both a lot. Andrew, a great career, and Michelle, a great career so far, and looking forward to it. But individually, Spanish Fork City is in your debt as well. So thank you so much for your service. These little certificates are probably better than any degree, I think, that you have hanging on your wall, which are probably many for the jobs that you guys do. But I hope you'll just take one down and put this one in front of it. This one says Certificate of Recognition to Andrew Jackson. This certificate is given to Andrew Jackson for his service as a professional planner for 33 years and as the Mountain Land Association of Governments Executive Director for 26 years. We honor your service to the state, the county, and Spanish Fork. Michelle, this is given to Michelle Carroll, the Mountain Land Association of Governments' new Executive Director, the 4th Executive Director for the organization, and the first woman to hold the position. Very cool. We recognize her contributions on the Spanish Fork Planning Commission and congratulate her in her new role. Again, thank you from Spanish Fork, and thank you for all you've given us and all you will give us in the future as far as your roles that are very vital to our success. So we appreciate you.
Do we get a picture too?
Of course you do, yes. Give the right one to you. Michelle, there's yours.
Don't put that in the box.
Nick, our PIO, has Spanish Fork swag for you somewhere in this building that he won't let you leave without.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, all right. Michelle will be back here. When's Planning Commission? Yeah, next month. All right, thank you. Okay, council comments. Nick, gosh, dang it. Sorry. That's why Chad sits next to me. He reminds me that there's public comments before council comments, and I'm forgetting it every single time, so I apologize. This is a time for public comment. Open up to public comment. Anybody in the audience that would like to address the mayor and council, please come up. Yes, sir.
I'm Alan Westman, Mayor, Council. I have mentioned this to you in earlier encounters, but just wanted to talk briefly about transit needs. I live up on the East Bench near Councilwoman Beck, and the nearest bus stop is a long ways away, a couple miles of walking distance from where I live. And I know that that's UTA domain, but I know that cities have a voice, and so just want to voice as a citizen. I think it would be great to have some sort of transit route, bus route that comes down Canyon Road, maybe down by turn by the Small Mart or something like that would be a good place to have a transit route, especially given that there's development happening over there by Maple Mountain High School and so forth. There may be great opportunities to reduce the need for parking, give people an opportunity to get from place to place without needing an operating vehicle of their own. And so I think that'd be great if we can do anything, whatever we can, to encourage UTA. So thank you.
Thank you, Alan. You might want to go catch those people out in the hallway. They're part of that. Yeah.
Go grab Michelle.
That Mountain Land Association of Governments is vital in a partnership with that. And so we will take that comment and have at some next council meeting, maybe have some good maps of maybe what the future holds for that, because we sometimes share that frustration that would like more service down here for sure. Thank you, Alan. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to council comments. Councilman Argyle.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have any this time.
Okay, keep going down the line. Councilman Cardin.
I'll make up for him.
All right.
Kathleen, we'll turn it over to the Chamber of Commerce first.
Councilman Argyle's yielded his time, and Jesse's going to take.
Yield his.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys take a peek at these. So, I have
Thank you. Thank you.
There we go. I only have 3, so you have to share that.
All right. So, I left my notes at the office, but I've got a digital copy. Okay. So a couple of things. Oh, so this is the United Way of Spanish Fork took us on a tour of Texas Instruments up in Lehigh the other week. That was a super fun tour. It turns out they make a lot more than calculators. Actually, they make computer chips, huge computer chips and discs and stuff. But they had us up there to kind of tour the property, and they had just passed, or they just gotten an $11 billion expansion. So it's the largest economic development in the state of Utah to date. So they're going to be building that in the back. So they kind of showed us where they're going to be filling in the kind of landfill that they have back there. It's in Lehigh. So it's Texas Instruments up there. It used to be Micron, that's what it was. Yeah, but anyways, so I wanted to just shout out a thank you to the United Way for taking us up there. It was a really, it was a fun adventure. The next thing we've got, so we did some surveys when I first took over this position last year to see what the members really wanted out of the Chamber of Commerce, and again we heard that they wanted more networking opportunities. So we're finally at a place that we can start adding in more regular activities. So our first one is launching tomorrow. We're going to do open networking. So we'll try to have these at local businesses in the area, and instead of having a speaker like we typically have for new networking, it'll just be every business owner gets to have an elevator pitch. So 30 seconds to kind of help forge relationships between business owners and kind of cultivate more strategic networking. So finding out what everybody does and what everybody needs. So we're rolling that out tomorrow at Slim Chickens. So that'll be from 11:30 to 1. And then, so we had a really good, we have a television, the Chamber has a show on SFCN 17 that they record for us. We had a really good episode this month that I'm excited to put on our social media about the things that the different business owners are doing in the area to help combat the mental health crisis that we're seeing, especially with our students. So I'll be dropping that link on our social media. You guys can check out that episode. Jesse was on there hosting with us. Thank you, Jesse. It's a lot of fun. Next, we've got, okay, so into our events. We have a ribbon cutting on the 9th, so that will be the day after tomorrow at noon for Marriage and Family Clinic. And we have on the 15th, we have Business of the Month, which is Jurassic Tacos, who I mentioned last council meeting. That Business of the Month celebration is going to be at 2 p.m. since it's a restaurant and those noon events are a little bit hard for them. So we're doing it a little bit later in the afternoon to try to accommodate the restaurant so they can celebrate with us. The next thing we've got is... Oh, okay, so this is what I gave you. So our magazine, our area guide, we are going to print in about 2 weeks, and that should wind up in everybody's mailboxes, hopefully by the end of this month. But I have the cover all ready to go. We did a board vote on this to pick out the image. Central Bank is our magazine sponsor. It turned out really good. I'm super excited about it. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, the progress, and just get a sneak peek on how it's going to look. We're going to take this design kind of throughout, so it's really clean. It's going to look really good, you guys. I'm super excited for this one. Thanks, Stacy, for your help with this as well.
Pull-out map of Spanish
It's going to have a pull-out map.
All of the readers and a calendar for the year. So
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. One side will be the map, the other side will be the calendar. We coordinated with Spanish Fork City, Salem City, and the school district to kind of have all of those main events, as well as the chamber events, all in one place. And it'll be pull-out so that you can put it on your refrigerator, you can keep it in your car, whatever you guys want, whatever people want to do with that. So we're super excited for this publication. All right, so let's see, we have next coming up. Okay, so this was another thing that we're trialing out this month, another networking opportunity. Field trips are so much fun. I was homeschooled growing up. I don't know if you guys know, but field trips are my favorite. And they also are really great at forging bonds. And so we decided, making connections, forging bonds. So we're gonna start having some field trip opportunities for our chamber members to network and also kind of find out some of the different businesses that are here in the area that are, we don't get to see all the time. Intermountain Healthcare is sponsoring our first one, so they're having us there on the 21st of this month. They're really excited. They are doing an event for colon cancer awareness, and they have a giant colon, a huge inflatable colon that they're going to be having. So they're going to have us come on that day so that we can interact with the colon and meet some of their people that will be, some of their higher executives that will be at that event. So it should be a really good time. We're looking forward to it. So that'll be the 21st at noon as well this month. And final thing, we have new networking, which will be on the 16th of this month, and that will be at the Hampton Inn. We are extending that as well, so that way there's a little bit more networking opportunity. So we'll open the event at 11:30 instead of noon, so businesses can come and network while we're setting up for the event, and then the event will take place from 12 to 1, but since we're there anyways, we're gonna let people be able to use the spaces to network and make friends. And then we have ribbon cutting at the end of the month on the 30th for the Mountain America Credit Union for their new branch is opening up. And that's what we've got going on for March. So we're excited. Busy month, lots of things happening, but we're super stoked. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, Kathleen. Appreciate it.
And not to mention the Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, that's all.
The first of April. Okay. Just a couple other things here. Well, a few more things. The Arts Council is putting on the Jungle Book, March 21st to 24th at 7 p.m. and March 25th at 2 p.m. at Maple Mountain High School. So get your tickets at sfcitytix.com. The airport board met this last week, and there's a lot of stuff going on at the airport. If you haven't been to our airport, you should. And they put in some new equipment at the end of last year, and they are getting a better number or a better idea of the number of traffic events that happen at the airport every month. And it's about 6,000 takeoff and landings every month, which is quite higher than what they thought before, which is pretty exciting. There's a lot of other things that are happening with the FBOs, with different designs, lots of things happening at the airport. If you'll bring up that picture for the firefighters. Last week, we had our second batch of paramedics and firefighters sworn in up at Station 62. There was 5 of them. One thing that was really impressive about this event is during the event, there were 2 calls that happened. One was a transfer call from the hospital to another hospital, but there was another one that was a fire in the county. And it was like you didn't even know what was going on, just like 5 or 6 people stood up, walked out, left. And then the next group stood up, walked out, left. And that's the kind of people that we have in our, we talk about our streets division, our police force, our emergency services. They do the jobs that a lot of us don't even recognize they're doing it until it affects us. And so I am thankful for, this new group, for Chief Hells, for the other emergency services in our city. Lastly, last week, I was also able to attend the first Spanish this is the third or fourth class or cohort of Spanish Fork 101. And if you haven't heard of this program that we have, it's amazing. There's some people in here that have been a part of it or are part of it now. And sometimes you get a sneak peek of the library and get to see the new conveyor belt. I won't give too many of the secrets of the library, so Scott's giving me that look. But it's an exciting thing that you get to do, get to learn the different organizations in the city and what they're doing, all the good work and the hard work that goes into making our city work. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Perfect. Thank you, Councilman Cardin. Councilman Euler?
My turn?
Yep.
Got just a couple of committee assignments I want to report on. A couple of weeks back, I went to our Mount Nebo Water Agency quarterly meeting. Couple updates there. They updated us on the groundwater management plan that they're working on, which I'm still Still trying to understand a little better what they're doing there, and also on the Water Smart Banking project. With all the snow that we've gotten this summer or this winter, it's easy to assume or think that all our water needs are taken care of now, but that's definitely not the case. We always need to be looking at and finding ways to conserve and protect the water that we have in our valley. So that's what we are looking at with the Mount Nebo Water Agency. Earlier today, I attended the South Utah Valley Animal Shelter board meeting, and we discussed quite a few issues that we're having with the animal shelter, mainly just the number of animals that they're bringing in. Main concern is and always will be, I think, the turnover of animals that are brought into the shelter. Nationwide, shelters have about 7% more animals than they did at this time last year. So they're bringing in about the same amount. The problem is the turnover has slowed down. There are fewer adoptions taking place, fewer families that are taking home animals. And so they're looking for ways to improve that, to try and get the word out, to help with adoptions. At our shelter, we've budgeted for one additional full-time employee position, which will take place in July. That position will be responsible for adoptions and for advertising. Today, after our meeting, I had the chance to walk around and look at some of the different dogs that are up for adoption, and I sent some pictures to Nick. If you are a family that is in need of a pet or a new dog, there are well over 100 to choose from down at our animal shelter. So there's this guy. Nick will just go through and show you all of them. Nick said, I think he said, no, not this one. There's one that he told me to take off the list because he's going to take it home. So just cute dogs. So rather than jump on KSL or whatever, if you're in the need for a family pet, go down to the shelter. They have quite a few to choose from. Also with the shelter, we talked about how adoptions are great, but they're really just a Band-Aid to the greater problem. What we really need is fewer pets being turned into the shelter, which means we need more responsible pet owners in the world. So if you are a pet owner and you have a dog that is not licensed or registered, please get it done, because I can tell you right now, it's a lot less expensive to license and register your dog than it is to get a citation because your pet is not registered. So please keep that in mind. On the screen, we've got 2023 clinics that are coming up where they do vaccines, licensing, and microchip at a discounted price, very reasonable price. The first one that we've got in Spanish Fork, March 11th, from 10 to 12 at the Spanish Fork Fairgrounds. After that, March 18th at the Salem Police Station, and then April 15th at the Mapleton Fire Station. So please keep those in mind. If you're an animal owner, please get your pets registered, licensed, not just dogs, but cats as well. Microchipped. Most of the people on the board are police chiefs or animal control officers, and they say it's so much easier if they find an animal that's chipped or that is registered and licensed to where they can just take them directly home to the owner rather than have to take them down to the shelter and hope that the owner comes down to claim them. So keep that in mind. And then final picture that I've got, we're going to see if you can guess where this is. Anybody know what we're looking at here? Any guesses from the council?
What do we get?
Chad's gonna know.
Chad's gonna know, I'm sure. Chad drives around a lot.
Called Dirt Transfer Station?
Yeah, so while I was at the shelter today after a meeting, I decided to drive up the road a little bit and see how things were going with our transfer station. And we've got walls up. It's coming along. There's Chad's prize, a little Butterfinger. There you go, Chad. Put it in your drawer. So I thought it was cool to see the progress that's taken place down at the solid waste transfer station. Walls are coming up. Lots of workers down there making progress on this, and it's going to be a great asset to our community to have a new transfer station. So that's all I had. Thank you, Mayor.
Very good. Thank you, Councilman Euler. Councilman Marshall.
I'll yield my time to Councilmember
You're going to
Beck.
yield? Okay, all right.
Thank you.
She'll take it.
I sure will. Just wanted to remind those watching, if you have any young woman that would like to try out for Miss Spanish Fork, the applications are open through the 15th of March, and there will be a meeting next Monday, March 13th at 7 p.m. right here for any of the young women that would like to get more information on that. And then, let me get to my thing. Oh, there we go. Great organization for scholarship money for college. So it's lots of fun to represent Miss Spanish.
Are those all in a row? Or is that the?
Yeah, those are all of
the
the
years?
former Miss Spanish Forks who come and watch it each year. They take a picture of putting the crown on the new Miss Spanish Fork.
There you go.
Kind of cool, huh?
Yep.
Over the weekend, I actually went to a school play, which I never go to plays. I don't think I even went to a play till I was 30. But I took my 4-year-old grandson to the Spanish Fork High School musical SpongeBob, and it is so darling. This cast is so extremely talented. It was super fun to watch it through the eyes of a little boy who's never seen a play, and he was just mesmerized with so many different things. But they will be going this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. Starts at 7 p.m. It's just a little over 2 hours at Spanish Fork High School. So good job to the Dramadons. And then yesterday, I think it was yesterday, yeah, it's a full week, Meals on Wheels, which I did not realize until yesterday that the Meals on Wheels is under the umbrella of MAG. Did you knew that, I'm sure you, yeah, okay. I just found that out as I'm delivering. So we delivered 13 meals yesterday at noon to just the cutest residents in Spanish Fork. And some of them just take the food and shut the door, but a lot of them invite you in and really want to chat. And not all day, but they have questions or just want to connect. And so not only are they receiving a warm, healthy meal, they're also receiving daily contact, which I think is so important, that this organization is helping so many of our seniors or those in need. One of the gentlemen had arthritis severely, and he said since he had joined that delivery service, he's not having to go to the grocery store as much, which was really painful for him to do. So it was just a really cool experience. I know Councilman Euler and Cardin will be doing that here in the next couple of weeks. And there's a lot of other programs, so you can get on the website, MAG's website, and find more details. There's a lot of services for volunteers to go help with seniors or services that seniors may need. And then today I saw the Spanish Fork City website or Facebook page, and they had a SFCN video, and it's called The Road Show. Is that correct, Nick? Nick, you were the host with our own Chris Thompson, Jared Johnson, and Dylan. This is all about traffic. The biggest complaints we get as mayor, council, and staff is the traffic in Spanish Fork. This is on the city's website and on Facebook. If you want to see what is going to happen in 2023 and even a couple years out, you're going to want to watch this. This is about 30 minutes long, but it's truly entertaining. And then tomorrow, Nick said he's going to even take it down and give you kind of bite-sized pieces if you don't have 30 minutes. But guys, there's a lot happening in Spanish Fork this summer. It might be messy. You may get frustrated. Highway 6, 10th North, 8th North, Center Street, roundabouts, new lights. There's a lot going on. But when it's all said and done, it's going to be so much better. So I really want to encourage our residents to take a couple minutes and watch this.
So did you say entertaining or educational? Which I'm just curious.
I found it entertaining. Like, I knew most of it because we've been in these meetings, but I was just like so intrigued, like, oh, okay, that's what that's going to look like. Oh, that's, yeah, the light. Oh, that's a dumb idea, but they're going to do it anyway. I didn't get my engineering degree, and the people that do, they think they know how to turn all the roads and, you know.
We kind of do.
Really? Because look, you're fixing that you already did once.
Oh, this is the third time.
We'll talk about it. So that's all I have.
That was kind of entertaining. I think we should keep going on that thing.
No, let's move on.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone with a driver's license.
Very good. Yes, thank you, Councilman Beck. Thank you, council members, for all your work on committees. I showed Jagger your delivery of Meals on Wheels, and he saw your delivery to Mary Lou Hutchings.
Because he's been there.
He's been there. Yeah, that's his good friend, Mary Lou, and she's got lots of trinkets and toys in there. It's like a little kid's heaven. So, yes, yeah, Mary Lou's great.
Mid-kids heaven.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff in those homes, and yeah, great organization, great people you get to meet. Meals on Wheels, people do ask us sometimes, how do we get involved? How can we help the city? It's a great organization to sign up for. Meals on Wheels is run by MAG, and they're always looking for volunteers to help run meals around. And even if you got a little dude that's not in kindergarten or preschool yet, that's what Amber did. And so if you have a few minutes every week, it's a great thing. So thank you for doing that, Councilwoman Beck. My council comments, Representative White, I don't know if you have this on a screen somewhere, Nick, but Representative White, we are through the legislative session. He is one of our representatives here in Spanish Fork. He represents the east side of Highway 6 going into Mapleton and Springville and the east side of Spanish Fork. The other representative that represents our area is Jeff Burton, downtown and down south to Salem, and then Senator McKell is our senator. So just ended the session, but we appreciate all of them, all the hard work that they did in a 45-day session. But Representative White is very good to have these meetings. This one's a post-legislative session, community information meeting. This is out on our on the newsletter that's in your mailboxes with your city bill. I think there's a link to it from our website as well. But you can see the one in Spanish Fork is March 15th, 7 to 8 p.m. He's invited us to be there as well. We appreciate his partnership in the session and beyond. And it's been a pleasure working with Representative White. So come talk about the state issues that night if you'd like. It'll be here in the council chambers. And then if you want to go to Springville and Mapleton, there's the dates there as well. Let's see. Went to a conference in Washington, D.C. with the APPA, American Public Power Association, with UMPA, who we are part of an organization with, a co-op that we buy power with. Myself, the Provo Mayor, Mayor Kafusi, Mayor Christensen of Salem, Mayor Rowley of Levan, Mayor Seeley of Nephi, and Mayor Bigelow of Manti. We're all cities that buy power together through UMPA and make sure our power rates stay competitive. So that conference was a success. I will tell you the one thing I came out of it, we did take a tour of Gettysburg one day and saw, where Lincoln gave the Gettysburg Address and the whole thing. And our tour guide obviously knew we were politicians there because he said, hey, you remember next time you're giving a political speech and you think it's real good, the best, most famous political speech in American history was given in 3 minutes, and he wasn't even the keynote speaker. So I better cut my comments off now. Chad, I've already taken 3 minutes, but that's, I didn't know that about the Gettysburg Address, but good time with all the different representatives, senators, and congressmen talking about the issues of public power that we face, especially in a year where our hydroelectric power, you do have renewable power sources inside Spanish Fork as part of the power mix, but hydroelectric power is tough to come by in a year that the Glen Canyon Dam is down a whole bunch. And so that hydroelectric power isn't as much. But the other mix of sources, we appreciate the good people of UMPA and the good work they do. And then lastly, businesses in Spanish Fork, Dave's department and Kim Brenneman, and alongside Pete Hansen have been good to let me know of companies in town that renew a business license or get a business license. So just a short clip of the business that we featured this last week. Slice of pizza in Spanish Fork.
Thank you for coming in.
There's a real cute part of this that
the city
we'll cut it off after.
We have business licenses that are
given out or that are renewed, and yours came up as a new business license in town.
Yes.
So we wanted to come present this to you.
Awesome.
You can hang it on the wall, you can throw it away, whatever you want to do, but it's a certificate to just say thank you for being a business in Spanish Fork,
Awesome, we appreciate that.
and we appreciate you making a go of it. So
Sounds good.
tell us a little bit about your place.
Well,
You
this is
serve
the-
pizza.
Yes, we do
Yes.
pizza. We also do salads, and if you caught a glimpse, we also have a food truck that's out there in the parking lot. We run that from April until October, and we go all over the county. We do Country Fan Fest in Tooele. We do some things in Salt Lake. You'll see us at the county fair, at the farmers markets, and different places. We're pretty proud to say we started that. This is our 5th season doing the food truck, and 3 years in a row we have won. If you take a peek right back here, the Daily Herald's Reader's Choice #1 for pizza and best food truck, and so we're hoping to grab that award again this year.
And who's
but
this
that's
right
something
here?
we're proud of. That's our son Alex.
there, Alex.
Yep, he's a junior in high school, and we kind of opened this location with him in mind as he transitions into being an adult and moving into the workforce. Then this gives him an opportunity to work and stay in his community and everything. So we're excited that he's got a huge interest. He wears our shirts to school,
Yes,
and
yes.
the teachers will come up and get pizza and bring back, and we'll always send one down for him. So he loves that.
Oh, perfect. It's nice to have him close by.
Oh, yay! Anyways, for this location,
Thank you, Nick. Slice of Pizza, getting a new business license, 82 North, 100 West, just around the corner from City Hall here. But they've turned a small spot there, relatively small spot, into a great pizza joint. The slice of pizza is as big as your head. It's very affordable. The kids are going there for high school lunches and everything, but you can get the salad bar. You can order pizza from there too. And Alex was one of the best employees ever, and was excited that he's going to prom at Spanish Fork High School. So
This one will be way less expensive for me.
Yeah.
The last time you did this was at the jewelry store. I keep going to these type of places.
Yeah,
to
well, you
remind
would
me
think
of-
so, Shane. You would think so, but when you get in there, there's sticky notes on the back wall there, and they let you know that really if somebody ever comes in hungry to this place, they will never turn them away, so they have a donation wall.
Oh, really? Okay.
So get in there and buy your meal, but pull out your wallet too, because it's a pretty good feeling of helping some people out. And Ashley and her whole crew there, including Alex, do a great job, and the pizza was excellent. So go there, slice of pizza, just on 82 North, 100 West. And thank you all businesses. Thanks again, Economic Development Department, keeping us knowing who's all coming to town, because like Stacy said, it's changing all the time, and there's new businesses all the time and renewals as well. So thank you for that. Anything else? Anybody? You waived your time, but you got a minute. You want anything? Okay, you said your 3 minutes is up too, huh? Okay. Perfect. Let's go to Spanish Fork 101. Our library director, Mr. Scott Aylett, library closure and move plan.
Yeah. Good evening.
Here we go.
Happy to be here. And we get asked a lot of questions at the library. Some are easy, like where is the Harry Potter series? Or where's the restroom? Other questions are a little more difficult to answer, like I once read a book that had a green cover and I don't remember what it's called. Can you help me find it? That one's a little more difficult. Another difficult question that we've been asked for the last 3 years is when will the new library open? And my best PIO answer for that period of time has been spring of 2023. And now spring is almost here and we're ready to slap a date on it and make it public and let our residents know when they can anticipate Library Hall being open. So we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight, what our timeline is into moving into the building, and most importantly, what our residents and patrons should expect as we get ready to transition into the new space and open it. So here's our timeline. Today is March 7th. So 4 key dates that I have up here on the screen. The first is Thursday, March 23rd is our last night of programming in the building, and we're calling it our Nostalgia Night. So come in, enjoy programming in the library for the last time before Parks and Rec or some other department takes it over. One thing we're really excited about that night is in the program room, we're going to let people sign the walls or slap some paint on their hand and put their handprint on the program room wall. We feel like we've left an impact maybe on many lives in this community, and now they can leave their impact by slapping their hand on the wall as we bid farewell to that building. The next day, Friday, March 24th, will be our last day of operation in our current library building, and we will close to the public at the end of business on Friday, March 24th. Saturday, March 25th, the next day, we hit the ground running in our process to move the building and our collection and other supplies and materials. I'll talk a little bit more about our library to library book walk here in a few minutes. And then the big date is Saturday, April 29th is our anticipated grand opening date for Library Hall. We'll have a lot of different activities and programs going on that day. One that I'm really excited for is a Storytime sampler. So you think like you go to Brick Oven and you get the heap sampler, right? And you get every slice of pizza known to man come across your table. Well, we're going to do a Storytime sampler and show our community residents and patrons all of the different story times that we offer children and different ages so that they can get a sense of our different programming. And we'll have a bunch of other activities that same day, but again, that's kind of the big day to be looking forward to in the next couple months is Saturday, April 29th. Another tough question, not really tough, but a question that we get asked a lot by residents and patrons is, how do you move, like, how are you gonna move everything? Are you gonna just do a book chain across Main Street? Yes and no. So on Saturday, March 25th, it's 7:45 a.m. I know it's early. You're going to have to get up a little bit earlier. I bet Chad's already up well before 7:45, but I've got 3 young kids, so I'm up way before then too. But we are going to do won't be a book chain. We're going to go lemming style. So single file, grab a couple books off the shelf in the old building and walk them across Main Street. We're working with UDOT to get Main Street closed that morning so that we can have a safe crossing path. And you can bring a few books from the old building and take them to the new building and kind of help kick off the process of moving the building. Now, we're not going to do it for all 75,000 items.
They asked me a couple weeks ago, like, are Spanish Fork really serious about closing Main Street? Like, yes, we are. We're doing it. They're like, okay, we'll figure out a way.
Yeah. We had a great call with them this week. They were very, great to work with. We came up with some solutions to some issues that we were encountering, and we're excited to provide this. We've had a lot of patrons come in and say, as a kid, my public library did this, and it's left a lasting impression on my life, being able to help move my library. So we're excited to provide this opportunity for our residents that they can come in, and even in a small way, even if it's you're carrying one book across the street, maybe, and hopefully that leaves an impact that you felt like you had a role in moving our building. So we're excited for that. Other questions that we get asked often from our patrons, and to help people anticipate what it's going to be like while we're closed, we get that we're closed for about a month, just over a month. So that's going to have a huge impact on our patrons. So we often get asked, will I still be able to check out materials? The last day to check out a physical item from our library will be March 24th, that last day of operations. Now, if you're the type that loves using Libby and the digital content, you're still going to have access to all of that content while we're closed. So the digital users, they won't really see any service interruption. I'm sure that, and I might talk to, I don't know, Seth or someone that wants to do a shake bet, but I bet that Friday, March 24th will be our busiest day on record. Just because I think we'll get a lot of people knowing that we're closed for a month and they're going to come check out as much as they possibly can.
Still have to bring the book back.
You still have to bring the book back. And that's another question that we get asked a lot is, will our due dates be extended or overdue fines waived while we're closed? Well, if you're checking out a book, you get it for 3 weeks. And if no one else has a hold on it, it will automatically renew up to 2 times. So you could have an item in theory for 9 weeks. So we're not going to extend due dates. We're not going to waive overdue fines while we're closed because our book drops will still be operable. In fact, starting, we'll talk a little bit about this later as well, but we'll have our book drops available for people to return items. To encourage residents to bring back as much as they can before we close, because it helps us in the move knowing exactly how many physical items we have to move. we will waive any overdue fines that last week that we're operating. So starting on March 20th through the 24th, if you bring an item back late, we'll just waive those overdue fines to try and encourage materials to come back in.
9 weeks. You're a book club person. You've never taken 9 weeks to read a book. You read a book.
Some.
So,
I thought you were asking.
it depends. So in terms of returning items back, starting on Monday the 27th, so we close on Friday, Monday the 27th, our book drops at the current building will be pulled inside and not be available to the public. And you can help us move materials by bringing them to the book drops over here. So we'll make sure that our book drops are operable here so that if you want or need to return an item because it's overdue, please bring it to Library Hall. Help us with the move. Don't take it to the old building. Another question we get asked is, are you going to be offering any programs while you're closed, right? A lot of our patrons come to the library, yes, for materials, but they come for different programming. And so each of our different age groups are working on a very extensive and various offerings for story times. We're going to have some digital story times for kids that we'll do over our YouTube channel and on Facebook. For the adult and teens, we have a reading challenge that they can participate and do different program activities throughout the community while we're closed because we won't have a building to use. In fact, our children's department, we're doing some pop-up story times, and we're working with some local businesses that will come in and do a story time in the local business. We have a dance studio that's going to host a story time for us, which will be fun for us to get out in the community. We'll do some at different city offices and departments like the fire station and other things like that. So we can still provide that level of service even though our building is closed. And then obviously we get asked, if you're closed, can I call you? Can I text you? How do I get more information about what it's going to be like while you're closed? So yes, you'll still be able to call or text us while we're closed. So I've listed all of the different ways to contact us or learn more about what the closure is going to be like, again, for that month that we're not operating out of a physical building while we get ready to move. Any questions from the mayor or the council?
When is the landscape planning ongoing in?
They actually started running pipe today. So the plan is to have,
So it should be done by the time the
it should be done.
grand opening is?
I would,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know that I would place a bet on that, but we're hopeful that it'll be done.
I was just
So,
curious.
and things are tentative, right? We're definitely planning for April 29th, but we get that there are bumps along the way and whatnot. So we're going full steam ahead with April 29th for our grand opening date, so.
I have another question
Yeah.
then. Is the finance office moving and they will also open their doors the 29th timeframe?
Yeah, I think the plan is for them to open up simultaneously with us. Obviously, it won't take finance the same amount of time that it's going to
But you're
take
gonna
us to
open at the same
move,
time.
but we'll open up at the same
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Seth is homesick tonight, so he might be clenching his fists at what we're saying for.
Yeah, we purposely had this discussion
Well,
at
he's
this
not
time.
here. Okay. Thank you.
So
Extend
can we move it up
promises
a
now,
couple
right?
weeks then?
Do you want to
Since
try
he's
to
not
move it
here, let's move it up a couple weeks.
Move it up.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you, Mayor and
Anything else?
Council. We're really excited. I think this is something we've obviously waited for a long time, and now it's exciting and a little anxiety-inducing knowing that it's just a few weeks away, but we're excited for the challenge and ready to provide this new level of service to our patrons. So thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Beautiful building. Beautiful building, and we're just months away from being in there, so thank you so much. Okay, that takes us to item number 7 on the agenda, consent items. Anybody have any questions about the consent items? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve the consent items.
Second?
Motion made by Councilman Cardon, seconded by Councilman Argyle to approve the consent items. Roll call vote, Councilman Euler.
Yes.
Councilman Marshall.
Yes.
Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
Councilman Argyle.
Yes.
And Councilman Cardon.
Yes.
Consent items are approved. Takes us to item number 8, public hearing. We have a couple of public hearings tonight on the agenda. Number 1 is item A, ordinance involving the Munoz zone change. David Anderson.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. Pretty straightforward. The proposal would have the zoning of some parcels made consistent so that there's just one zone on these particular properties on South Main. It would require a change from residential office to commercial 2.
Perfect. Okay, I see it attached there on the map. If there's no questions right now for Dave, I'd entertain a motion to open it up to public hearing.
So moved.
Motion
Second.
made by Councilwoman Beck, seconded by Councilman Argyle to go into public hearing for item A. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
We're in public hearing for item A. Anybody from the public to speak to the Munoz zone change? Okay. I'd entertain a motion to, Dave's trying to see if she wants to come up and say something. You want to say something? Oh, okay. I'd entertain a motion to go out of public hearing.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Argyle.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Cardon to go out of public hearing for item A. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
We're out of public hearing.
You do it.
Any questions here for Dave? The report is written up there and attached with the planning commission that did see this.
I guess the only question I would have, Dave, is how does this happen where we get two different zones right across the middle of a property line to begin with?
I think it was with an annexation. I don't know that with certainty, but I think that's how it ended up that way.
Okay.
Thought it was prior planning commissions.
Probably, it was yours,
Probably
right?
about 15 or so years ago,
No.
back then.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
So if public's watching at home, this is a property just on South Main Street, just north of the River Bridge Event Center property there, so. If there's no other questions, I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve the Munoz.
Yeah, Munoz.
Yeah, Munoz zone change based on the findings listed in the staff report.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Marshall, seconded by Councilman Euler. Roll call vote, Councilman Cardon.
Yes.
Councilman Argyle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
Councilman Marshall.
Yes.
And Councilman Euler.
Yes.
Okay, item A is approved. Takes us to item B, an ordinance proposing Title 15 amendments. This is a public hearing as well.
Let's give Mr. Mayor, thank you. This one's pretty simple. It involves changing 4 words to 3 in Title 15. I think it speaks for itself. We recommend that it be approved. And I'd answer any questions that I can.
Yeah, not a lot of
Pretty
changes on this
straightforward.
one. Yep, just a couple word changes here. Any questions before we go into public hearing? If not, I'd entertain a motion to go into public hearing for Title 15 amendments.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Cardon, seconded by Councilman Euler to go into public hearing. All in favor, say yes.
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 We're in public hearing for item B. Anybody from the public that would like to speak to this Title 15 amendments? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to go out of public hearing.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Euler,
Second?
seconded by Councilwoman Beck to go out of public hearing. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
We're out of public hearing. Any other questions for Dave or staff on this one?
I move to approve ordinance proposed Title 15 amendments.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Euler, seconded by Councilman Argyle. Roll call vote. Councilman Marshall.
Yes.
Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
Councilman Argyle.
Yes.
Councilman Cardon.
Yes.
And Councilman Euler.
Yes.
Item B in the public hearing is approved. Takes us to item 9A of new business, resolution library meeting room rental rates. We got you on the same meeting,
Oh,
Scott.
I don't know that that's ever happened.
It's great.
While I've been at the library, so it's probably been a few years since you've had to listen to me twice in one meeting. But as we get ready for Library Hall to open, one facility or multiple facilities within the building or space, I should say, that we're really excited for are our meeting spaces. In the current library, we have 2 study rooms and a conference room and a program room that get used quite a bit by the public, so much so that they're often used when someone else would also like to use the space. So in Library Hall, we've added additional meeting spaces for the community to use. We have 6 study and conference rooms that will be reservable to the public. And to make it a little bit more exciting, rather than naming them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we've named them after different literary places, and we allowed the public to vote on them. Any guesses on what any of the top 6 names may be? Anyone want to?
The Shire.
The Shire is one. Okay. Any other guesses? Hogwarts. Maybe we can get all of them among this group.
Star Wars.
Tom Clancy.
Book club.
I can't remember.
It's all good. I'll give you the answers.
Okay, please.
Narnia, Hogwarts, the Shire, Avonlea, Wonderland, and Pemberley. In addition to those meeting spaces, we have what we call the Heritage Multipurpose Room. And this space, as shown through these photographs, has some retractable bleacher seating. So if you want to do like a lecture or maybe a movie showing or overflow for a city council meeting, you can pull those seats down. I think they fit about 130, 132 individuals on those seats. Or you want to rent out the space and have tables and chairs that fits 12 tables with some serving tables as well. Pull those bleachers back and have a bunch of tables and chairs in there. So we're really excited about the flexibility of the space. We can use it for story times, or if someone on the weekend wants to reserve it for some type of family party or whatever, they're welcome to do that. And in order to do this, we needed to establish a fee schedule for these spaces. And we went and did a study looking at what we charge for comparable city spaces and looking at other communities in the south part of the county to see what spaces they reserve out and what they charge, and have proposed the following fee schedule effective immediately, recognizing that we are moving over here in the next month and a half. So for conference rooms, our current fee schedule is $10 per hour, $25 per day. We're just changing that to $10 an hour and not having an hour or a daily rate. You'll notice on here that we have implemented a non-resident fee because we would like our residents that are paying for this facility through their property tax, right, that they get maybe a different rate than, say, a non-resident that is using the same facility. So the conference rooms, $10 for residents, $15 for non-residents. We have 2 conference rooms, and then we have 4 study rooms that are just, open, first come, first served basis with no fee associated with it. You'll see the stage is still on there, and that's referring to the stage at City Park, because that space will still be reservable, and I'm going to leave that to Dale to decide if he's going to change those rates when they so choose. And then the Heritage Multipurpose Room, again, we looked at a variety of different facilities in the county or in the community and wanted to stay competitive, but also want the room to be used. We don't want to have a fee that's so high that people don't pay it and the room stays vacant or unused. So we have weekend and weekday rates as well as resident and non-resident rates as listed here on this table. One thing that is not listed on here, but we will include and probably should be included in the resolution, and speaking with our city attorney, Vaughn, is a security deposit, which is common for all of our city facilities that we rent out, which is a $500 refundable security and cleaning deposit. So if people don't clean up after themselves or damage materials, we can use those funds to help recoup or pay for those costs. That's not included on here, and it's not included in the resolution as written, but should be included if that is adopted by the mayor and the council this evening. Any questions from you all for me?
So the person that reserves it says, I'm a resident or I'm a non-resident, and that's where the fees change?
Yep. And we'll use our same process that we use today based off of library policy on how we determine if someone is a resident, right? If they're a resident, it's really easy for us to verify through utility bill, through a piece of mail, driver's license, other forms of identification. So we'll just incorporate that same process that we do for our library accounts.
How often will we review these rates?
The city's fee schedule is reviewed annually through the city budget, and so that's a great opportunity for us to, a year down the road, look and see, are we undercharging for the space? Is it booked all of the time? And just simple supply and demand economics, right, and increase the rate if it's being used 100% of the time.
Okay. I think they're too low. So a year from now, I'd love to see the data on usage. So, but it's a guess at this point, so I get it.
Yep. And we, like, for example, we look at the Oaks, right? In terms of square footage, it's a little bit bigger. They have a full-size kitchen, right, that is available. We don't have that. And so we just, again, wanted to stay competitive with what other facilities were. But we did come in a little bit low, again, because we wanted to see what the market was like for this facility.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's eyeballing $25 a day for a stage. Who wants that to be? $5, right?
I'm glad that Dave charged. I mean, $25 is just way too cheap.
Yeah.
It is.
Especially for what it is.
It is.
Even $10 an hour
It's really cheap.
Still.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, we'll review it next year.
Yep.
They just call the library if they want to reserve something.
They could call. We actually just had a new user agreement for a software that's called LibCal. So patrons and users will be able to reserve these items or these spaces online without having to call or text the library, which will be really nice for staff, but also nice for the user. We're growing up a little bit.
Perfect, yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you,
there's-
Scott.
If there's no discussion, I'll go ahead and move to approve the resolution, library meeting room rental rates.
You want to make that edit in there, that it's not in the, it's
Security
not in there,
deposit.
but add the $500
Oh, add
security.
the $500 security deposit, yes, thanks.
Second?
Motion made by Councilwoman Beck, seconded by Councilman Argyle. Any discussion on this motion? Roll call vote, Councilman Marshall.
Yes.
Councilman Euler.
Yes.
Councilman Cardon.
Yes.
Councilman Argyle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
Okay, the resolution for the library meeting room rental rates is approved. Takes us to item B of new business, US 6 widening project, UDOT cooperative agreement.
This project is to widen US 6 around the Canyon Creek and the 8th North Expressway Lane area. We're really excited for this project. There's a lot of right-of-way acquisition being done, which if we can't get it done in time, then UDOT's gonna have to push it a year. So we're working really hard with them on that. This agreement, they've mentioned that they might have it ready for this meeting, and we're hopeful that it would be, but it wasn't. So we're gonna have to wait till next time to get it. So if we could table it.
Dang it.
But if our residents want to know more, you can go to the new movie, Roadshow,
Roadshow.
on
movie.
SFCN.
It's true entertainment.
Almost as good as the Cowboy Channel that Chad loves.
Close.
As good as studio chatter.
Yeah. This is an important area, this is an important thing. We're excited for it to come back up in front of us because we do have quite a large retailer that is the worst kept secret in the world. It's not a secret anymore, but is there, and this extra lane will help us get in and out of there.
So, Chris, when do they expect that to go to bid? It's getting super late.
Yeah.
Early March.
Yeah. We're hopeful in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
And it's not contingent on this, I'm assuming.
It might be, and so you might be ratifying this next time. So we're just, it's so nip and tuck, so I hate to make promises. But at some point, it gets too late, and then it has to be pushed. But we really want this done before Target opens.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
You need a motion to table it? Is that what you need? Okay, I'd entertain a motion to table this agenda item.
I motion to, or I move to table this item. B, US 6 widening project.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Cardon to table this issue, seconded by Councilman Marshall. A roll call vote here. Councilman Argyle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
Councilman Marshall.
Yes.
Councilman Euler.
Yes.
Councilman Cardon.
Yes.
Okay, item B is tabled, hopefully not very long. Takes us to item C, 1166 South Main Street Real Estate Purchase Contract.
You guys remember what happened March 10th, 2022? Almost a year ago to the day. Almost.
I don't.
It's a big announcement that you made, Mayor, that we'd be building a rec center
Okay.
in Spanish Fork.
Okay.
So as part of that process, one thing that we hoped to be able to do was purchase a piece of property at 1166 South Main. Here is a rendering of where that's at. So we've got Main Street, Volunteer Drive. Here's the sports park. What you'll notice on this is we have an area where we call it our shops for our Parks and Rec department. And also, it's kind of hard to see on this, but there's also a power line that runs across here. So one thing that's great about this real estate purchase contract that's before you tonight
to purchase this property that's outlined here, owned by, it's currently owned by Warren and Cheryl Call, is that if we're able to get this property, then we won't have to move the shop, we won't have to move those power lines. So that would be very helpful in regards to the footprint of where the rec center will sit. So those are two major reasons why we as staff would recommend that you approve the real estate purchase contract that is before you tonight. Any questions?
Have we announced where we're putting the rec center?
It's kind of an announcement of it.
Right?
That's kind of vague.
Okay. Okay, just checking. I don't remember us formally saying that.
Were you fighting for the east side of Spanish Fork or something?
No, this is my preferred spot,
Okay.
next to the trail, next to
Just
the
never
recreation. We just
formally,
haven't done it before.
Yeah,
But
no, we haven't.
It's probably partially because of this piece of property right here, right? We needed to get to this point before we could do it, so it's awesome.
Any other questions for Tyler on this?
It may be worth mentioning, we have purchased this property, this piece of property. We own this property and this property as well.
Whole new look to Main Street on the south end.
Yeah, definitely.
Heads up to residents, I think Dale mentioned this earlier, that you will see some construction going on along Main Street in this corridor here. So that's what that construction will be happening, is removing some of the trees, some of the properties and stuff. And this will happen a little bit later in the year, in the summer with the Call property.
Yep.
Okay. Very good. Yes, in case you were wondering where exactly it's going to be located, it's going to be in this area. And we will have, hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll have some really good renderings that the public can look over. That we're just nailing down some of the details there that are important to be able to go out to bid for construction and everything. And we got teams of people that are working on that. So once that's nailed down, that will be a public document for everybody to see, and I'm sure that'll excite everybody in the city as well to see what this facility is going to look like. But yes, it will be located South Main Street, right next to the trail, right next to the award-winning sports park, with how many acres of grass down there, would you say? I mean, going all 90 acres going along the river. So just one of the prettiest parts of town, obviously, and now being able to add the indoor and outdoor aquatic center, the senior center, and the recreation center there will just make it even that much cooler. So, way to go, Tyler.
Tyler, thanks. Thanks for your efforts. I know maybe in your next job, real estate will be your prime thing.
Thanks. We've had a lot of great people helping with this, and yeah, calls have been great to work with. So.
Yeah, great people on both sides. Good people on the city side. Good people, good landowners to work with all around. So,
You know, Alan was here earlier to talk about transit up on the East Bench.
Yeah.
When we have that conversation with UTA, we ought to talk about servicing this as well. That'd be great to have anyone in the city to be able to not have to drive to get here, jump on a bus, or ride their bike down. It's right around the trail, so getting there should be pretty simple. But a transit option would be awesome.
Right now, there is a bus stop right there.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
All right.
On the
On
south
both sides
end
of
of
the
it.
street. But,
it just goes down Main.
yeah, it just goes down Main. We need
We need it to get into the neighborhoods.
Intercity Transit Authority is what we need.
Well,
Get our own
and
buses.
again, not to speak about just transit, but the walkability of this. I mean, the whole east side of town, the trails that go up the east side and down to the west side and connecting the north side. This river trail can get you all the way up to Canyon View Park and down here without, it goes under Main Street there when it's not going to be able to be go under Main Street when the water
summer.
comes down in a few weeks. But after that, you'll be able to get to the rec center in the future just from about anywhere in town without crossing streets. You'll be able to get to it from the trail. So great place and great opportunity to get people out and down to a really good place. Okay, I think what we need on this is a motion what is this? Move to approve the 1166 South Main Street real estate purchase contract is what we need. If somebody wants to make.
I move to approve the 1166 South Main Street real estate purchase contract.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Marshall, seconded by Councilman Euler. Roll call vote here. Councilman Cardon.
Yes.
Councilman Euler.
Yes.
Councilman Marshall.
Yes.
Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
And Councilman Argyle.
Yes.
Item C of new business is approved. Takes us to item 10, to adjourn to closed session.
I move to go into closed session for land transaction.
Motion made by Councilman Cardon.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Argyle to go into closed session for land transaction. Roll call vote. Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
Councilman Marshall.
Yes.
Councilman Euler.
Yes.
Councilman Cardon.
Yes.
And Councilman Argyle.
Yes.
We are adjourned to closed session. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight.